Okay, it's 4 o'clock and I'll call the meeting to order. Mary, you want to read the governor's?
Yep. So this open meeting of the Town Area Plan Work Group is being conducted remotely pursuant to Chapter 20 of the Acts of 2021. Please note this meeting is being recorded and all attendees are participating via Zoom as posted on the town's website, identifying how the public may join. Let's see. Please beware other people may be able to see you and take care not to share your device's screen. And anything you broadcast may be captured by the recording. And this meeting will feature public comment if any is offered. Henry, do you want to do a roll call?
Yes, I will. Mary.
Here.
Lee.
Here.
Mary Ann.
Here.
Mickey.
Here.
Anybody else?
Allison is joining.
All right, good.
Sorry, I'm late.
Hi, Allison.
Hello.
And myself. Okay, we have a quorum. Anybody got any additions, changes to the agenda? Good. Okay, that's out of the way. Motion to approve the draft minutes from July 5th. Any additions?
I have a note for an edit there.
Okay.
Where it says on page 3 for reference subcommittee composition and survey question status. I think a couple of those dates are referenced as 2021 when they should be 2022. So May 20th and July 5th would be 2022.
All right. Motion to approve the minutes as amended.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Awesome. Okay, all in favor, aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Okay. Lee, do you want to go over your suggestion about an introduction to the questions?
Yes, and I apologize. The air conditioner in my room is running. If I'm hard to hear, I'll stand up and turn it off. It struck me that respondents need to know, one, it's important for them to answer, two, what it's for and where it's going to go. And then a quick summary of the elements of the map. And that one, and in doing so, referring that 1 and 9 don't really lead to questions, but 2 through 8 do. And that's the numbering system and the titles. So I'm hoping I could get that in 2 or 3 sentences.
Okay. Any discussion?
I think I would be happy to try and put it all together once we have all the pieces to make a coherent whole and maybe add a few images that would help illustrate some of the important points.
Okay. Any more discussion? Okay. I believe I'm the last one for questions, if I can find my notes. My first question is, do we need questions on open space and recreation, as Megan just put out a survey on it? Any discussion?
I think if there are any specific places in our area that we have concerns or questions about how they're being used or how they could be used or how new spaces could be added, there might be questions in that realm, but island-wide, the open space survey covered that pretty well.
Yeah. With the area we have, I don't really see any new spaces being created. That would be pretty tough unless the next fire spreads through half the town. Just a joke.
Too soon, Henry, too soon.
Mary Ann and I came up with, if I can find it. I don't know what I did with it. It doesn't need to go on the questionnaire, but as far as the plan, what do you think about listing the recreational spaces? Good idea, bad idea?
What I've seen in the master plan is definitely a list of the resources that are included. So yes, I think at least within the plan, we should identify them.
On that, I forget when it was, but I gave a brief talk on it, and I had Lily Pond, Mill Hill, Goose Pond, and Coffin Park. We also have pocket parks at Main and Fair. That small one that's in India, it used to be Wayne Electric, across from Company of the Cauldron, whatever that address is.
Oh, yeah, next to the gallery.
Yep. There's a small bench that they put in at Union and Orange where they changed that corner. Mary Ann came up with the oldest house, Mill Hill and Candle House Lane, and the Pony Fields, which I can't even read my writing. It's Mill and New Mill, I believe.
There's also across from Jared Coffin. There's that little corner.
That's owned by Jared Coffin.
Oh, is it? I didn't know that.
Yep,
Oh,
that's their
nice.
property. We have called them numerous of times when parties go on at night.
Oh, I see.
Very familiar with it.
Henry, here's one that Vicky will recognize. The little area that the land bank wants to redevelop, officially Petrol's Landing. That's Petrol 'S Landing, but nobody calls it that.
It's outside our area though.
Well, it's in the downtown and it's in the waterfront. And Mary, we have this discussion over and over again.
And we may continue to, Lee, but.
Well,
it's
I
not a
think
resource in our-
we can ask about it and then we simply transfer the information to MPEDC to use as they want.
Henry, the land bank has a property at Monument Square off of Milk Street, next to WB Martin's,
Oh, the old
old grocery.
dry cleaners.
Yeah,
It's Macaulay's dry cleaner.
we might check their property map to see if they have anything else. Then I wondered, does either the Coffin School or the Academy Hill Apartments have any public space?
No,
No.
Great Light Garden, if you're counting the Historical Association properties.
What's the address on the
Howard Street for Greater Light?
Howard
Greater
Street?
Light is owned by the NHA.
Right, but so is.
And
I
at
thought one of the-
times they have actually, you had to pay a fee to enter.
But the oldest house was mentioned and that's owned by NHA.
Yeah, but people use that for picnicking all the time. It's kind of open. You don't have to pay anything. I'm
I
just
see.
saying that because when the tables are all filled at something natural, often people walk through Coffin Park and picnic outside the oldest house because there's so much space and it's free and open to the public.
Henry, I'm going to ask a favor. This went faster than I could write. Are you keeping a note?
Trying to.
Okay. Send it on. We'll get it in the minutes.
All right. The last one I have is the one at the War Memorial at Maine, and that's Milk, I believe.
Yeah.
Is there any name for that, Mary? Do you know?
Not off the top of my head, but there's also what used to be the skating pond on New Lane, the land bank property.
Oh, that's right. And there's a bench there too. Yeah. But they took away the tree.
What was the last one? Maine and where?
Milk.
Milk.
That's the old dry cleaner, right there, Henry?
Yep.
Yes.
Macaulay's Dry Cleaners.
Yeah.
Would we include the Athenaeum's Park, even though they own it, I'm sure?
They do own it.
Yeah. So we're just looking at town-owned properties.
I would say yes. I mean, it's
Well, I mean, we've got a very blurry line. The pony fields are owned by the NHA, you know. Are we looking at open spaces that are accessible to the public, or are we looking at town-owned properties or town and land bank-owned properties? Are we adding Conservation Foundation and the other organizations? I mean,
Oh,
you
I don't
know,
know if I get enough
what are you
paper for
really
you.
after?
I would say open spaces and rec.
Yeah,
If they're open to the public, I think that's part of our recreational space.
Right.
yeah, so within our area and open to the public.
Now, something like the park that the JC owns, I don't know if we'd include that or not. I mean, that's their property and it's supposed to be shut at night.
Yeah, but if it's open during the day, then I think it's publicly accessible. There's probably a sign on the gate. I remember the sign saying closes at sunset or something like that. And that implies it's open during the day.
It is unless they've got a function there.
Well, the same would be true for the oldest house. You know, if there was a function there, it probably wouldn't be open to the public.
Okay.
So that you would have the grounds of the mill, not just Mill Hill Park, but the actual grounds of the mill. And there's a field that the NHA owns across the street that they have used for some events sometimes.
What's the official name of Dead Horse Valley?
Dead Horse.
It is Dead Horse. Okay. That's, I wasn't sure if that was just how my 14-year-old referred to it or if that was the actual name.
No, that's a good add.
Didn't we decide, Henry, that that's outside of our map?
I believe it is.
Ah, okay. That makes sense.
The property that and Duez and the North Mill people helped purchase, and that's adjacent to, I think, something called the Pony Field.
Yeah, what is that called?
I think it's the Pony Field.
No, it's because it's across the street from the pony field and diagonal. It's not even adjacent to it.
One they just bought is up on the hill behind the pony field.
Okay.
Is that a North Mill Street property?
I think it's North Mill. Forget the number, but we saw it a lot at HSAB because they were trying to have a house approved on it. So I know right where it is. It's behind the houses and behind the pony field, up on the top of that knoll behind the pony field.
Yeah, does it have a name?
I want to say 7 North Mill, but I may have the number wrong.
That's just the address, though.
It's the address. I don't know if they've officially named it.
So I'm looking at the map and yes, Dead Horse Valley is outside of our area.
Okay.
According to Google Maps, the Ponyfield is Eleanor Ham Ponyfield,
Mhm.
and there's no name for the other location.
Eleanor Ham.
That's what it says.
Mhm.
Yes, HAM.
HAM. I'm sure they're, Google is not the most reliable source, but
It's better than me.
Oh, that is the correct name. Do any of the cemeteries get included as open space or are they a separate category? They're not really
I
recreational.
would think they'd be separate.
Yeah.
Speaking as a cemetery commissioner, I agree. They are town-owned, but they're controlled by the cemetery commission. That is to say, the public ones. If you get to Prospect Hill, St. Mary's, is it the Edward Lewis edition? Those are all privately held by the Prospect Hill Association. But I believe they're all outside the boundary.
Well, I was thinking the African American cemetery is inside the boundary, so is the Quaker cemetery.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you're right, but I think we should just exclude them.
Yeah, I wouldn't call them recreational spaces.
Okay. As far as the list of questions, On my notes. Does anyone want to make any additions or changes or?
Henry, did you, I don't have that list up. Is that something that was sent out?
No, I'm just looking at my notes from past meetings.
Oh, so you're not specifically talking about open space, you're talking about all of the questions.
All the questions.
Oh, got it. Thank you.
Yeah, as far as our survey, I personally don't feel we need to put any questions on there. Between Megan's survey and, like I say, it's not like we're going to create a lot of open space. I think if we list what we have, that's good enough for the area plan.
So do we have a compiled list of all the questions yet? Has that been put together?
No, that's where I'm headed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
just slow.
that's what I'll try to do. And if Lee wants to contribute to the introduction, I can work that in as well. And we had a very short time frame between the last meeting and this meeting, but a long time frame between this one and the next one. So
True.
Speaking of the next meeting, do we know about the in-person versus Zoom? Wasn't that the date ending today?
yes, and it is on the governor's desk waiting to be signed to extend through next March.
Okay.
So we should be good.
Let's hope so.
But just on that note, there may be a different Zoom link because this link was set up to end today. So I'll have to set up a new link for the upcoming meetings and it may be different than what we had before.
Okay. All right. Anything else to discuss?
Henry and Mary, let me be clear. I'm supposed to write a short intro and send it to Mary, and she will attach it into the compiled list. Is that correct?
Yes, please, Lee.
Okay, happy to do so.
And thank you both for doing this. Has there been any discussion as to how long to run the survey? Have you heard anything, Mary?
No, I don't think NP and EDC is, weighing in on this topic. The NP and EDC is meeting Monday night. I can bring any question that this group might have to the NP and EDC if you want me to.
Okay.
And the next meeting isn't until August 22nd. So kind of like, if we have something to ask, let's do it now.
I would think, what, 3 weeks anyway?
I was thinking at least 2. I think 3 is better.
Yeah, I would.
Along with every so often, maybe weekly, a reminder. I get anywhere from 20 to 50 junk emails a day. Things can get buried very quickly.
So I think our next meeting is August 2nd, the first Tuesday, to be followed by August 19th. So if we were able to come back with an approved survey on August 2nd, or if we had any edits, then on August 19th, but it would be nice if it could launch at the beginning of August.
Yeah, I agree.
So when we compile our list, then it's got to go through the planning staff, before the survey goes out, I assume, right?
But I think it's, they might have some suggestions for content of the survey, but I'm guessing, I don't think they're going to rewrite it on us. We're the authors.
Mhm. Okay.
Well, Henry's had some experience with that on the SPA survey. Henry, my recollection is that they did move things around a bit.
We sent a list to them and they went over it and whittled it down I don't remember the exact number. It was maybe 24 questions we sent in, and they knocked it down to whatever it was, 16. They sent it back and then we went over it, and that's what went out. There were a few questions that we didn't follow their advice on, but that was a town association thing more than anything.
In the interest of timing, would this group like me to talk to Andrew or whoever's designated in the planning department to get feedback on the survey that I've compiled before it comes to the committee on August 2nd? So the committee can review that feedback as well?
Yes, maybe talk with Megan and
Yeah.
See what she thinks.
All right, I'll
So
send that to you.
I'm going to suggest, Mary, that informational reports can maybe submitted electronically whenever they're ready. What we may not do is discuss or vote. And so if you come up with some drafts, I think it's perfectly legal to circulate them. But the discussion would have to wait till August 2nd.
Right, right. And I think as speaking as a member of any committee, anything that we were going to discuss, I would want to have in advance for review so that I could develop any questions. So
Yeah, good.
Good. Has anybody got anything else? This went a lot faster than I figured it would. All right. Motion to adjourn then. Nikki, is that a yes?
That's a motion to adjourn, yes.
Second.
Who was second? Allison?
Yep.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks, Lee.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Okay, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye, all. Have a good weekend.
Yeah.
You
Bye-bye.
too.